Hey guys, we are hip hopping, lounging. We're lounging like lizards. We're lounging. All right. And somebody knocked us on the floor, so I'm trying to determine if it's taking any damage. That somebody is black and furry, full of trouble. It looks all right. I think he's trying to fuss with it, and I have control, so who might argue, right? Let's us get to work. I get to work over here. Yesterday we inked in one page. This guy right here. The subsequent page is not inkable, so we'll move over to 12, which is where we were before. And let's finish 12. And we will ink things in the front first. Closest to us, right? Then we'll move along and we'll ink things further away. It wasn't bad. Good evening there, my dear friend. No, it wasn't bad. I've got one kid who's starting to get snarky with me. And I'm getting kind of worried about her because I'm thinking I'm going to have to crack down on her a little. It's hard, and I get it. I mean, this is a difficult class. It's me lecturing for effectively 7 hours in a day, and I get that. That's tough. I try to dance and sing and do all the fun stuff, but in the end, I'm still trying to teach them how to drive cars, so it's a little complicated. There's only so much I can actually do. She's getting a little bit salty on me, and I'm not at fault here. That's not where I want to be. So she can be salty, but she can't get rude and disrespectful. That's what she was bordering on earlier, where she was getting rude and disrespectful. I'm not going to put up with that. Got better things to do with my life, you know? Don't need rude and disrespectful kids. She doesn't want to be there. She doesn't got to be there. She can explain to her parents why she got herself kicked out. So there's that. How you doing? Right? I can draw a comic book, damn it. don't know where Brian is. I'm getting kind of worried about Brian. I mean, I figured we're probably not going to see hide nor hair of Raph. That's normal. I miss him, but he is who he is, you know? That's never going to change, so... And I don't want it to. I like Raph just the way Raph is, but you got to take the good with the bad, and it's such a thing. Yep, got me my little portable AC unit here, which, of course, completely wigged out last night. I'm a little annoyed by it. It has a touch screen, right? So you touch the buttons to make it work. And day before yesterday, I started touching the buttons, and they would work, but only slowly, and now they don't work at all. So, luckily for me, it's on and running, but I can't turn it off. I can't change its controls. It is wherever it is, so hopefully it will stay running for the rest of the summer, but I think we have lost yet another portable AC unit, and I'm very aggravated about that, because what's happening here is we are spending $600 here and $600 there and $600 there to stop us from having to spend, say, $8,000 on a new AC unit that would just go to our central air system. And at some point, all of these crappy defective AC units are going to cost us enough that we would have been able to have afforded just central air. And it's going to be very aggravating because we won't have the money for central air and we won't have portable AC units. And that's going to be something where I'm going to be very upset about. We contemplated doing central air and then decided we were okay with portable AC units in the office and in the bedroom, and then the swamp cooler to run the rest of the house to keep it moderated throughout the day. And the swamp cooler does good for level 1 for the first floor, but doesn't do so good up here, which means that we have to have these portable ACs. And as long as this AC unit's on, it's running fine. But the only way I'm going to be able to turn it off is to unplug it, because the control panel no longer works at all. So we are wherever we are. That's where we are. After this episode of this comic book, though, we're going to redo some of these maquettes because I cannot read her nose at all. And it's because the early versions of this maquette was rigged and set up to do this under the kind of the concept and idea of making it so that they could be rendered by themselves without needing to be traced over like we're doing here. And in the end, I liked it better. So we're gonna just, no, not world building, fixing of maquettes. We just need to fix the this is a 10-minute job. I probably want to put a line down the middle of her nose, just make it go identify that her nose is just identify her nose and the line down the middle of the nose, because like I said before, the idea was that I was going to try to render these guys outright. Now I'm like, we're never going to render these guys outright. I like what they look like traced like this much better. It holds a much better appeal. And it allows me to put some control into it. So we're not going to do that, so we can do that. I actually have done that with, if you recall, with Navin's maquette. He's got a line down the middle of his face now. So, and there we go. Come up here and kind of go around like so. We're going to come up like this. I'm giving some folds in her uniform here to kind of indicate we have folds going on in the uniform. And she's bent over. The other thing is, I wouldn't mind securing these somehow to the maquettes. These pieces here, which sit out of the maquettes, and they often kind of roll off the edge. I think I'm going to take these guys and make what we call morph targets. And that's where you take the actual Genesis 2 model, this guy here, this main model, and we take the actual model into Blender, and then make the rings here as part of the arm models and part of the legs, and then put the like, as in add pieces to the model to make it look like it's got the extra pieces on it direct, and then that way we can make these changes to it that will stay permanently and not slide around and move up and down and go all over the place like they are. Not something we're going to do before the end of this issue, but there has been enough problems with the pockets moving and things like that that I am kind of the opinion that we want to make a little bit more standardized targets for this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm thinking of doing that. Then this will all be part of the map, and it won't come loose anymore. Which would be good. We can do one set for the male figure and then one set for the female figure, and all will lock into place. And we will be fine. Because these guys, you can see, have moved and slid off of their models. And it makes it so difficult for me to follow what's going on. And I can do this, but here again, if I trim this out, we're going to have to go back in here and clean up around this model on things. Undo. I don't want to clean up around this model. Oh, man. I gotta do the thing. Hey, up on the correct layer now. This is another thing I'm noticing, like the security lines. Hey, Brian's gonna make it finally. Finally, Brian makes it. Finally, I'm gonna make fun of Brian now. Oh, I can't hear you now.
I'm right here.
There you go. Now I can hear you. Well, I turned the music down because it was lo-fiing over in its own corner over there. So,
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I just work here. What do I know? When Brian attacks next time on Fox.
Ha!
Ha! How you doing?
I'm alive.
Always a good thing.
Yep. Yourself?
Yeah, I was saying I got one kid, and I hope I don't have to crack her tomorrow, but I'm getting kind of annoyed with her. She's being a cranky butt. Driver's ed's boring. There's nothing I can do about it. It is 4 days of data download, and that's all we got. And I get it. They're 14, you know.
Yeah.
But she's getting borderline disrespectful, and that's not going to fly.
No.
And I'm like, you know what? I can be a friend, or you can I'm a junior high teacher. Your choice. But if you get me cracking down on you, it's not a good thing. So, anyway, I'm kind of cranky about that. On the flip side, tomorrow after work, we're going to go to Bojo's. That's exciting because I love Bojo's. And then Thursday, I'm going to go to see the new Macross Frontier movie. Because Macross Frontier.
Nice.
Because there is no doubt about the fact that Star Trek and Macross are my two things. I mean, if you say, what's Bellatrix Rising? It's Star Trek meets Macross. Like,
essentially, yeah.
Like, that's me. I have always been Star Trek and Macross. So, I am looking forward to that. It's the wrong songstress. It's going to be fun. I'm going to go with my buddies from IndieK because there's like a little cadre of us who are all Macross fans. We're also Star Trek fans. I've noticed that there is a very, very big correlation between Trekkies and Macross fans. Like, it seems like most Macross people I know who are big fans of Macross are also fans of Star Trek. It's not necessarily the other direction. Star Trek and Macross don't go the other direction, but I've noticed a big correlation between Macross and Trekkies, because like all my buddies are also the cadre of people at NDK who are into Star Trek and who have been religiously watching Strange New Worlds and religiously watching, and we're up to date on Discovery and up to, you know what I mean? Like we can sit there and over dinner and talk the finer little details.
Yeah.
Argue over where the Scorch is.
Huh?
I know. It's a thing. There's the new argument is about the Scorch, which is a location on the forward section of the Enterprise's saucer, which theoretically is the only part of the Enterprise that has not been modified over the last 15 years. And so it's called the Scorch. And one of the things that the lower midshipmen do is go out there and sign the Scorch. So they go out in a spacesuit and sign it. And the problem is in Discovery, in the last episode of Discovery from season 2, that part of the Enterprise, the entire forward section of the saucer was blown away. And so the question is, how does the Scorch survive if the front of the saucer has been blown away? I think it might be too. I think it's not as far forward as it looks because we just have Una and Una. Well, I think what it is I think it's right the last pieces that were there before the saucer got blown back. So that was what I was looking at tonight. I was loading up Discovery Sweet Sorrow, which is the last episode of season 2. And I was looking at the damage to the Enterprise. And then I was trying to load up, or I was going to, but then the show started. So I went back to work because we've got work to do. We've got a comic to write. But I was also then loading up. I was going to load up Strange New Worlds. And I was going to compare the two. And I believe the Scorch is actually forward more. I think it's actually just in front of the bridge lights. So they've been adding a lot of real gritty texture to Star Trek with Strange New Worlds. The whole Enterprise bingo thing is hysterical and funny and charming and cute. Enterprise bingo apparently is the thing that midshipmen do when they first get shipped aboard the Enterprise. It's this list of things that you're supposed to do that are breaking the rules and see if you can do it without getting caught by the brass on the ship. So it's really cute and clever. And of course, the episode that we're referring to, number one, the first officer and the security officer finally catch them trying to do it. And so, of course, they crack down on the little ensigns, the poor little ensigns. One of them just completely comes unglued, but that's okay. But then they decide, well, there's nobody on board the ship. Why don't we try to do Enterprise bingo? So they're doing Enterprise bingo. It's like a cute episode. It's just cute and fluffy, and there's not a lot of stress. And it's adding a lot of really interesting texture to Star Trek,
The other thing that, there's another part to that in which Enterprise bingo could be a interesting thing for new crew members to just get to know the ship.
I think it's one of those things where regulations say that it's not right and you can't do it, but in reality, I think everybody's pretty okay with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's against regs, but you mean to flip it.
But it also teaches you locations in the ship and what you're not supposed to be doing at the location by having you go to the location and not do what you're and do what you're not supposed to do.
Right.
So it kind of, when you are following the rules, you go, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be doing that."
Right. Oh, it is a lovely, like I said, it's, you know, so long as you don't break something or die. I was thinking about that because you're of course supposed to have a showdown on one of the decks with the phasers set for the lowest setting, and of course La'an, they the way they do it, they both stand there, you know, they come out and they've got their phasers on their hips and they clack, you know, they draw. And it's like really cute and fluffy, and then of course, you know, number one's like, wait, and then Lon shoots her anyway and zaps her in the shoulder, and she goes, that really stung. And it was just clever and cute. It was adorable. But yeah, I think that some of them could be dangerous. I thought about that. I was like, you know, if you're Lon, she could legitimately, you know, do some serious damage to number one. So it was very cute. It was cute. I liked it.
That's good.
I mean, I guess it kind of goes without saying that obviously I like some part of Star Trek. You are all, I'm sure, absolutely stunned and shocked that that would be the case. Anyway, I enjoyed that episode. It was a good episode. But now I'm doing a classic Trekkie thing of trying to ascertain where the Scorch is on the Enterprise, and we're all going to have to discuss this Thursday night when we're all supposed to be watching Macross. But still, we'll have to do this. This is an important thing. I mean, honestly, the instance were going EVA on the front dish of the Enterprise, and they were doing it effectively at Starbase 1 in space dock. You couldn't really be any safer to go on an EVA. So, you know, in Star Trek's time, they've been doing that particular EVA in low Earth orbit since literally for 250 or 300 years. So, EVA is not exactly scary anymore. It's like us driving a car.
But you have to train the ensigns how to do it.
Right? Okay. We got lens distortion on this.
Huh?
Lens distortion on this maquette. I'm trying to decide whether I want to reshoot this, and I think I do, because this is enough lens distortion that it looks really weird, and I don't think I can fix it. That's all right. That's all right. We can do that. It's what we do. So how you doing, Brian? What's life?
Getting through. Just saw me finish off. I picked up a thing called shirataki noodles. They're supposed to be like 20 calorie. Like you get a bag that's like the size of a ramen bag of noodles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be 20 calories and 5 grams of carbohydrates, which is all fiber and really kind of good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I was giving them a try tonight, and they're decent. They're actually, they have a texture similar to ramen noodles.
20 calories, though, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, how do you pull that off?
Because it's coming from they're made from a yam called a QuACk yam.
Oh, okay.
And you cook them really different. Like, for example, you don't boil them. Like, you wash them off a little and then throw them into a dry, hot pan and you dry them out.
Interesting.
And then they themselves have no flavor, but they take on the flavor of whatever sauce you're making.
Right.
So I just did a little peanut sauce with some hot sauce I've been making, and it was really good. I was quite impressed.
Fair. Turn off the hollows. The hollows are not on yet.
And sorry I didn't join you last night. I got home from gaming and was like, I'm tired.
As long as you've got Control Thursday night, I'm good. Because it's questionable whether I'll be here Thursday night. So as long as you can keep Control Thursday night, I don't care. I mean, I'm going to mock you incessantly, naturally, but
I would expect no less.
Right? I mean, that's what it should be. As it should be. As it should be.
So, one of the characters from the actually role-playing on Mondays. So, even if I'm not here, I'm actually working on the comic because I'm trying to figure this character out. And I accidentally had a major breakthrough on the character, and it hasn't changed her arc, but it solidified her arc.
Okay.
And it was like,
tell me about it. Like, no.
How much spoilers do we want to give on this show?
Probably not any, but that's okay. I'm glad to hear that you have a thing going then. How about that?
Okay.
Should I just say congratulations then? Maybe that's what I should say. Congratulations.
Because it actually kind of, it changes one of my scenes, but I think it changes it for the better and makes it a more tragic scene.
Okay. I've seen that.
Is that your pun?
Yes, that was a pun. I'm just making a pun. I mean, really, like, that's also a, did you expect any different?
No, not really.
Yeah. Okay, do we put these armrests further back like this or further forward? You know, they're not bad here. I mean, this is actually, if I put this guy here, it works fine. The real problem is this PC, which probably ought to be here.
So, did you see the thing I sent you with the webtoons?
No, I didn't, because during the day I'm in the classroom.
Yeah.
So when you send them to me, sometimes I get, and today I had to have a long discussion with my manager because I totally and completely borked the timesheet stuff. So we've got an app to do our login or check in and check out, and I'm clearly not qualified to use this app. So my manager had to call and walk me through fixing all of my timesheet stuff. So that was like a big drama. And then it was actually funny because my top level manager was like, because she called later on. She's like, "You've been completely and totally changing your timesheet. Is everything okay?" And it was like, I mean, it wasn't like she thought I was lying. It was clearly you were having problems with your timesheet.
It's that Captain America moment where he grabs the chair, flips it around, and goes, "So I've noticed that you've been with your timesheet."
Anyway, she told me it doesn't matter because we pay you for lunch and we pay you for breaks. So putting in the lunch break and the breaks in is completely academic and up to you. And you can not do it if you want. And I was like, oh, thank God. So all I got to do is walk into my classroom, click the check in, punch in button. And then when I walk out of the classroom at night, click the punch out button. And that's it. And I get paid for the whole day. And I was like so grateful because I'm having so many problems with these breaks and this lunch break, and I don't know what to do with any of that. And I was telling her, I was like, I don't really feel like it's fair. Second breakfast.
Hey, second breakfast.
Is it because it's like 700 degrees down there too? Because it was 700 degrees here. It's so brutal. It's so brutally hot. Every place is so hot. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Ugh, it's so hot. Anyway, that's the other thing. My classroom is hot because they don't have, the air conditioning is just not pushing enough. And there's kids in there with me, and we're all at 37.2 degrees Celsius. So all of us are hot, and everybody's hot, and it's miserable. And I've got one girl whom I think she's like melting down, and I'm like, okay, but we got to finish the class, so please don't die. I'm like, and I don't do good in heat. I am not a heat person. Heat and I don't get along. I'm a snow guy. I am perfectly content in snow. This stuff is ridiculous. Anyway, I protest. I just need to protest. So what were you sending?
Check your Facebook Messenger.
I'm not going to check my Facebook Messenger. I'm aligning the chair, but I will figure it out in a second.
Because you really need to look at that. Because it's an advertisement that...
Oh, yeah. I actually did read this. You said Webtoons.
Yeah.
A fun side hustle.
It's the advertisement in Subways in New York. And everybody is so up in arms because of how dismissive it is that Webtoons has come out and said, okay, this is obviously a fail on our part.
Oh no, poor Webtoons. Yeah, that's pretty sucky, so yeah, not smart. It's good to see you, though, Second Breakfast.
Yes.
Sorry. We want you to know we still love you. We're not ignoring you.
Yeah. No, dude, we miss you.
Yeah, we miss you guys. We're not doing the daytime show now for the next week, but next week I'm off, I'm not in the classroom next week, so I can do daytime shows next week if you want. So I'm up for the daytime shows where Hone and Second Breakfast can join during the day, or during their night, because it's nighttime for them.
Yeah.
Because right now I think they're both in school, so that's pretty sucky, and I don't know about them. Yeah, I figured. It's okay. We will always be here for you. Don't worry. I can't promise we will always be here. We are kind of old. Someday we're going to die, but hopefully not anytime soon.
I intend to get out of life alive.
Right? Exactly. Good luck on that one, Brian. Anyway, So, but we will be here as long as we can. So you just keep joining us whenever you can. Second breakfast. It's okay. It is totally okay, my friend. It is okay. We'll be here. We're not going anywhere. We got work to do. We have so much work to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of behind on work right now.
Right?
But it's kind of, I role play. So you role play on what, Saturdays?
Saturday.
And then Monday is my role
Pretty
play,
decent.
my main role play day. And are we all behind work?
We are all behind work. Yes.
But being able to role play one of the characters in here and really kind of get in her head has been fantastic. Because suddenly a lot of things are starting to pop and make sense.
Right.
With her.
Oh, yeah? Oh, your deadline. Yeah, deathline and deadline might be two different words. Luckily, I understand what you mean. You haven't even started on your deadline? Second breakfast. And we're totally going to have to, you need to, hang out with us more so you can keep work going.
Yeah.
Keep work.
We can crack that whip to help you.
Yeah, if you need us to crack the whip, we can. Autocorrect go burr. Well, and I figure since your autocorrect probably isn't native, it's like whenever my phone autocorrects Japanese, it always chooses the wrong thing. It never goes right. It never goes right. It's so funny. And I'm like, okay, why did you do that? I mean, it's getting okay with English, but boy, it is sometimes bonkers in Japanese. So, although one thing that... Oh, do I have to put the thing up?
Put the thing up.
Oh, no. Ryan, you must stop drawing. But why? You're on the wrong layer. Oh! How bad?
I'll just redraw the frames. It's easier than trying to
separate it out. Oh, that's horrible. Is it a whole frame that you're going to lose?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. That's okay.
All right. Poses. Genesis 2 female. Thanks for rising. I already had saved her pose, so all I got to do is just put her in. She should be fine.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
I'll lean her forward so that she looks like she's getting into this seat. I'll bend this up like so. And now we can kind of try to make her more dramatic. That's what we're going to try to do. So I was talking earlier before you came on about the idea of doing posed, what we call morph targets. And a morph target is where we take the actual, we take the model of this character, and we take the model into Blender, and then add all the pieces on the mesh. Break is over. See you later. Second breakfast.
See ya. Have a nice day.
Yeah, have a good day. We'll see you later. A morph target's where you take the actual mesh into Blender, and I'm going to put the little reaction control thrusters actually on the mesh, because these little addendums that are right here, they keep moving, sliding, going everywhere. And so I'm going to fix that. I wonder if I can find a Genesis 2 like shirt morph. That might be a nice addendum. I think that's out there somewhere. Genesis 2 female shirt morph. Because they usually just put see, they've got shirts that morph, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a core on the actual like shell. I wonder if I can do that. So, on Geek Tank last night, Alex told me that somewhere out there is a recording of J.R.R. Tolkien reading Elven poetry in Elvish.
Okay.
And I was like, well, hell. Now I need to find. So I found some of it last night, and I'm like, I gotta read this. I gotta listen to this. I don't need to read it. I need to listen to it because it's Elvish, literally the way that Tolkien wanted to have Elvish spoken. You know, and I was like, wow, that is wild. It is really cool to listen to. I only listened to a minute of it, but
Yeah, I'm not too keen on Tolkien, or not Tolkien, Rowling right now.
it's not Rowling. It's Tolkien.
No, the J.K. Rowling speaking Tolkien. I'm not too keen with Rowling currently.
Did I say Rowling at any point?
Yes.
Oh, it's not what I meant. Here, look, this.
Oh, it's Tolkien reading his stuff.
I don't know how I said Rowling. I don't know why I said Rowling, except that I'm typing something at the same time. So clearly that's just impossible for me to think. No, it's Tolkien reading Elvish poetry in Elvish. And so I'm like, well, that I got to hear.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap. That is way cool. Tolkien reading Tolkien reading Elvish in Elvish. That's a thing. That is a. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say Rowling. I'm like, why did you say Rowling? And you're like, because you said Rowling. And I'm like, okay, I guess I did. Because I probably did. Because I'm typing at the same time. See, now I want to do this. But it's YouTube. I don't want to watch a YouTube thing. I don't have time for a YouTube thing. Well,
Ain't no one got time for
I
that.
don't have time for YouTube. Everybody has a video. I mean, that's fine, except that I can't play videos. We're broadcasting. That won't work. Okay, here we go. We're going to save you. We're going to come back. I'm going to just mess with this here. Save. Let it save, and then I'm going to start a new thing. Hey, George.
It's a George.
What's your thing? What's going on? You're winking at me. Why are you winking? You want scritches? No, you don't want scritches. Okay. I don't care. None of my beeswax. You don't want scritches. I'll give you scritches if you want scritches, but you know what? I'm not fighting you for it. Open up a base model you want to modify. Okay, people. Genesis 2 female. Genesis 2 base. So we'll open up the base. And it will freak out. Still makes it though. And once again, it does this weird thing. So I gotta zero it out. Go through it. For some reason, one of these forms has auto loads now. So by default, one of the morph targets is always loading. It's so weird. Okay. Jorp, jorp, jorp. Gotcha. You. Right? I'm not scritching if you don't want to, man. Okay, base model. Then from the file menu, click export. Export. All right. Probably should go to the desktop on this one. Okay, desktop. Choose the name and location you want, and then select Collada. Collada, okay. .dae. Okay. Email base uniform, okay. For the export type, all my early attempts to export the base model used Wavefront, but using that file format at this stage caused problems. Collada preserved the vertex order, which is important. Oh, okay. Preserves scale and doesn't apply bone transformations to the mesh. Ooh, that's important. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So we say that, and we say when the export comes up, make sure to turn off bake scale. Seeing any bake scale. Oh, I see bake, method bake. So we got to go in and turn off scale. Wow. Okay. Wait. It's got all of my forms in there. Do you want switches, cat? Where'd you go? I don't know where you went.
You're doing a real life view of your first intro when it was you and George, and it's
right.
Just George walking by and you looking over at him and then going, okay, whatever.
I'm like, it's true. It's the way I spend my life with him. Whatever. Your dialogue should look something like click this. Okay. Okay, not this. Gotcha. Turn off bake scale and all the options below it. Okay, because it sounds too like. Is that everything like this? Or is this just general? Oh, okay. Bake scale. Gotcha. And everything below it. I get it now. Okay. Got it. Bake scale turned off. You don't need textures or animations to create a morph target, and they'll just get in the way. So your dialogue should look something like, and you can't find it. Okay, cool. No problem. So ignore invisible nodes. Yes. Remove unused vertices. There are no unused vertices, but that's okay. So then, once you've exported the file, say accept. Once you exported the file, go to Blender. Well, you know what we're going to do first, though? We're going to close this guy down because he's taking up a lot of memory, and we'll need that memory somewhere along the line for something else. So I want to go ahead and close you, and then close you. And then actually close you. Because tonight we are apparently doing this because I'm actually much more interested suddenly in doing this. So we're going to close that, and then we're going to open up Blender. Spinning up Blender. All right. We spun up Blender. All right, delete the square. Okay, go over to Blender. You can leave Daz Studio open if you wish, or you can reopen it later and load the same mesh you exported. If there are any objects in your scene, press the A key to select all, and then the X key followed by the return key to delete. Okay. You now have an empty scene to work with. In the File menu, look up Import. Collada. There. Go to Desktop, Email Base Uniform. Okay. The name you'll see there shouldn't be any import options. If there are, use the defaults. Okay, importing. I'm sure this is fascinating over there, Brian.
It's very fascinating.
All right. She's very, very tiny. I don't care.
But she's pretty big in Tokyo.
Right, exactly. Okay, it looks like she imported just fine. Okay. Once you exported the file, go over to Blender. Okay, see it. You open it to see the base model and its armature. But they'll be laying on the floor instead of standing up. Uh-oh. So right-click on the armature. Right? This is an armature, yes?
Is this an armature that I'm drawing?
Good night, love. I love you.
Sleep well.
Root node pose. These look like bone armatures. Okay. They don't need the armatures. So we don't need the armature. So right click on the armature, select it, and hit the X key on the keyboard, followed by the return key. Okay, now she's on the floor. Okay, well, that made it harder to. Whoa, she's huge. Anybody here have a foot fetish? Because she's huge now, but we're at the feet. All right, good. Okay. We don't need an armature for creating morph targets, so right click. Okay, good. Next, rotate the base figure so it's Blender's coordinate system, right? Click on the base figure and press the R key on your keyboard, followed by the X key, which constrains the rotation to the X axis, and then the 9 key and the 0 key. Oh god, there's a lot of hotkeys in here. Which tells Blender to rotate 90 degrees on the chosen axis. For turn, commit the rotation. Stand the mesh up with the mesh still selected. Press Control A. Why? I don't need to worry about it, right? Because you can't delete or add vertices, edge loops, faces, or edges. You can work in vertex, face, or edge mode and move everything around as you will, but you'll have to restrict yourself to moving. You can also use sculpt mode, but you must use, however, don't use a multi-resolution modifier, or for that matter, any modifiers. It's fair. We can do this. So I can go into sculpt. We can work in sculpting. Jorp, jorp, jorp. Okay. And we can start working on sculpting, but we have to take our sculpting tools, edit mode, sculpt mode. Okay, we can take this in sculpt mode here. Can we pull out? Yeah, okay, good. Excellent. Why are we... So Dyn Topo needs to be off. Remesh needs to be off. Okay. I mean, I'm not opposed
Wow,
to this.
that's looking really good.
No, it's not. Oh, you're not talking about my thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at my panel.
It's all good. I'm teasing you.
I'm trying to use the tools more. Hi, Donald.
Is Donald here? Hi, Donald.
Yeah, Donald.
Oh, no. Donald, are you trying to do parking while talking to us on the phone? Because that would be weird. You know, as a Boss certified driving instructor, I'm going to recommend against that. It's a boast. I do boast. I boast a lot. Ha ha ha.
I love this reaction panel.
Mm.
Yes.
I do like the face you've got going on there.
It's so ridiculous. I'm looking up what faces look like in high G. Send help, I'm not going to be able to make it through this one.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
I feel like I'm just opening up a hole in the mesh. I am opening up a hole in the mesh. Literally tore the mesh. Okay, well, we can't do that. That's not going to work. So now we've destroyed the mesh, so we'll have to destroy it. We'll have to start all over again. That's all right. I think I learned what I wanted to learn here. Go back to object mode, delete, and re-import. She should be holding onto the front.
You think more on the front?
Yeah, she should be doing the like that.
I can do that. I can do, because then I can have her legs in the air. And going straight back.
Oh, we're going the wrong way. Nope, too far.
It's such a Looney Tunes. It's so Looney Tunes.
I love it. It's the way it should be.
Oh my god, this is so beautiful.
Stop trashing the mesh. Why do you trash the mesh so?
Okay, the legs have to go up into the air. Like she can't even be making contact with the ground.
That's fine.
It's so ridiculous and I love it. I like the contrast between the two of us. You have this very serious look on your face as you're focusing in and really looking at Blender and all this. And I'm sitting here trying not to die laughing.
Right?
If ever there was how would you explain our show in a few words? It's the contrast between the two of us when we draw.
Right? It is so different how we do our world. There we go.
It so works as a frame. That's the worst part.
Mm-hmm.
Originally I have this as the last one is like perfectly fine, but I should have it like really like half melted from the heat. It's still standing, but it's like you know it's not in good condition.
It didn't make it so easily through here. I like that. Gosh, I hope that nothing bad happened to Donald while he was trying to park.
Yeah, I hope so. Like
He was parking, and then now he's not.
I hope he's
Donald, if you're
okay.
alive out there, please tell us. We worry about
Yeah.
you. You know how that goes. You were parking a minute ago, and now we're not parking, and we're like, uh-oh. Don't mind Brian. He's just gone insane.
Yes. I've totally lost it. Did I draw her gauntlets? No, I did not. That's what I did wrong in that first panel.
Crush. We've got the arms getting there. Damn it.
I just thought of a funny detail. Have all the windows shattered on the building behind it.
Yeah, that'd be good. Then it tears up the thing. Okay, never mind. None of them do what I want them to do per se. They do things that are close. Hmm. I may have made another critical mistake. That's all right.
Was it a happy mistake at least?
Nah, it was a delete and start over mistake.
Ah, I hate
It's all
those.
right. It's all right. We're learning what the best possible way to deal with this is. hard to navigate. And I should have just done this in the first place. I was trying to use the sculpt tools, and all I was getting was nowhere fast. Really, I just should have just done what I'm doing right now, which is use the standard tools that come with Blender because I know them.
Sometimes that's the best rule to do.
Yeah, just go with the ones you know.
Like, learn those as time goes on, because those tools will help you too. But use the tools you know as well.
Agreed.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I only destroyed 4 barriers.
Kablam.
The wall behind her is just riddled with debris. The building is it's not destroyed, but you see all the impact craters on it and broken glass. And she's apologizing for not destroying all of the barriers.
Right? See, that's just much better. Now the question is, why didn't it do it symmetrically? It was doing it symmetrically before. And now it's not. There we go. Turn on the mirror. There we go. That's what we're looking for.
So I'm probably gonna butcher the poor guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Svan Pon Stevan Pon Stevanic? Stevanpic? Anyways, the guy who does Sunstone and Death Vigil and a bunch of different kind of big name comics.
Okay.
I did a piece of fan art of one of his characters from Death Vigil just shrugging. I said it's okay not to know if he sleeps or not, or if he has shed his mortal need for sleep. Even his characters aren't sure. Because the guy has like 5 comics he's writing concurrent, or drawing and writing concurrently.
Like, wild, no matter which way you put it.
Yeah. Like, I remember a few years ago you did this this image of him is an animated image, and you see him powering up more and more Goku style as he's trying to get all these deadlines done at once.
That's just ridiculous. Oh man. I mean, respect, but still.
Yeah. Wow, it is 11:54 already.
Mm-hmm. It is indeed. We've been chugging along all night.
I'd say we've done some good work tonight.
I concur. I divide and concur. Wait, what? All right. And I think that's more what I was looking for in the beginning anyway. Now I can do... Now we're at that mad scramble. Can we finish all those little, like, widgets before our timer runs out?
Scott Kurtz had an interesting question, and someone has a very good answer.
Uh-oh.
He goes, maybe I'm grown old enough to be the out-of-touch creator, but why does anybody need webtoons? Just make your comic and post it to your own site. If webtoons does new creators no favors, then why make them any money? If you're on your own, be so on your own terms. And then the response to that, and I think this is the most important for the modern age, is my students have become increasingly app-driven with the internet. So they're less familiar with browsers, software, and focusing on spending more time in apps. And I think that is important to keep in mind. Is some of these places are now going heavy app driven and more phone driven. And it's not the old internet anymore.
No, this isn't your father's internet.
Yep. And it's why I've been posting to Global Comics.
Yeah.
Because of all the stuff they do offer, including they're actually setting up a mobile app.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the way it's going, that's the way it's going. And I mean, there's nothing we can do to stop it. But I mean, my kids, every time I give them a break, all they're doing is pulling out their phones. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
If I want my comics to reach, it's going to have to be on Webtoons.
Webtoons or Global Comics or whatever. It's how do you extend your reach? And, like I know how to make a website, but I don't know how to make a website in HTML version 5, which still uses, like I could use the old HTML stuff, but there's so much more you can do that I can't take advantage of because that requires a whole level of programming on its own.
Yeah, that we don't have, naturally.
And they're even getting ready to release a new web. I think Web 5 or something like that.
Yeah, we just don't have the skills anymore. Nor do we want the skills. I mean, legitimately, nor do we want the skills. I don't want to program anymore. I am done. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm done. I did my bit for Geeky Country. I did all of that. Something I did. We were good. We were happy, whatever. And I'm done.
But the times, they are a-changing.
Yeah. Which is fine. Apps, that's totally acceptable. Webtoons, that's totally acceptable. I mean, like, I can do this. Where the hell did that one go? There? No. There.
It's keeping ahead of the wave, and the wave that's coming is apps.
Oh, yeah. Has been for a while, though.
Yeah, but that wave has it's like the internet wave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it first hit, it was you have to have a website, you have to have a website, you have to have a website.
Yeah.
And now it's accelerating to you have to have this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is true. There we go. Looks like an RC thruster. Looks like it's stalled. Looks like a stalled RC thruster. Oh, please don't crash. Blender's like, I'm done screwing with you. We got a spinny blue thing now. I finally get it all squared away. I'm about to figure out what to do to save this thing, and now it's doing spinny blue thing.
Spinny blue thing bad.
Yeah. Depends on whether it crashes out or not. What I'll do, though, is I'll take this opportunity to start prepping for bed. Might as well while it's thinking. Hopefully, it won't do the I'm in a loop and I will be done with my loop sometime in the Neverland. And so you just might as well just crash Blender yourself. Nope, it came back.
Quickly save it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Saving now. Now I'm getting spinny blue thing, but hey, this is saving while I'm doing spinny blue thing. Trying to get the kid to do all my work for me. Okay, well, I feel like we're still spinny thingy. Gotcha. Not so fast. I heard of elephants. I just said don't herd of elephants. You came up here as herd of elephants. Okay, Brian, I think we should go.
Yeah, it's after midnight. We need to get out of here.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.